Welcome to Nakano, another one of Tokyo's retro gaming districts where you can find consoles you've never even heard of. Anything from a Sega Dreamcast to a Rolex watch, you can find it here at the Mandarake and Book Off stores. Come along as I give you a walkthrough of my two top favorite Mandarake stores here in Nakano Broadway before wrapping it up with a walkthrough of the Nakano Book Off store. If you like videos like these, be sure to subscribe for more, and let's get straight into this video.
Well, it's been about a month or so since I've been to Nakano, so I figured today let's go ahead to Nakano and see if it's still gonna be how it was last time I was there. We're straight into the station now. The rapid to Nakano coming in super slow. Alrighty guys, we are officially back here in Nakano for the night. Let's make our way over there. Guys, you have to walk through Nakano Sun Mall, all of the retro stuff, and of course, video games. That's why we are here. It is pretty late by Japan standards. It is about 6:30, so I'm expecting a lot of stuff to be closed.
Welcome friends to Nakano Broadway. If you've never been here before, you're in for an absolute treat. This is one of the hugest second-hand shopping centers in all of Japan. Located directly in the middle of Nakano, as soon as you walk off the train station, you are greeted by the Mandarake Emporium. This mall is absolutely dominated by different Mandarake stores that have anything you can dream of. From collectible toys like Pops and video games or Pokemon cards galore. You can even find older product like this tag team box here. You definitely don't see those every day. This place is a great place to go and find some stores that you wouldn't see anywhere else. And they're so close by, you can find some great deals all at one stop. This store right here is one of my favorite shops in the entire place. I don't know exactly what it's called because I couldn't translate that figure on my phone, so I can't decipher the logo, but it is a tax-free shop and it's indicated by these blue banners here. They have an audio-visual and a collectible store, but I'm primarily there for the audio-visual stuff, so let's dive straight into their video game section. You can see they got a box PSP and 2 box DS Lites, in addition to various loose consoles there, including Game Boy Colors, copies of DS Pokemon games like Pokemon White 2. You can also see stuff like Sonic, Final Fantasy, GameCube's Wii U's, a Super Famicom case. It does not have the Famicom in it, but that would be cool if it did. Even small collectible items like old Famicom cartridge cases, little storage cases there you don't see every day. Game Boy players, 64s with rumble packs. And at this specific store, many of the pricings are more fair than you will find anywhere else. I highly recommend you do not miss this stop on your Nakano Broadway journey. Let's go ahead and continue on to see what else this store has to offer. Now keep in mind, if you are a tourist, you can get the tax-free discount at this store. Meaning if you spend 5,000 yen or more, all you have to do is present your passport and you will get a 10% tax-free discount on all your purchases, since you're going to have to pay your VAT and tax duties at customs when you fly back into your airport at your home country. Now they have a bunch of different cool consoles in here, even a Hello Kitty Game Boy Advance and Hello Kitty Game Boy Color. You got a 2DS Animal Crossing, a 3DS XL, and a 2DS XL complete in box as well. And you do have a wall of Game Boy games here, in addition to some box stuff on the wall in the showcase. They have a bunch of different manuals, which is also a cool thing if you're trying to go for a complete in-box item. And it's always a good point to pick up any type of manuals or missing inserts, like for example on a Pokemon game. If you need the map, you might end up finding it at one of these Mandarake stores. Not only do they have more expensive complete in-box items, they also do have a pretty big wall here of loose cartridges, loose consoles, and discount second-hand consoles here as well. Like I said, anytime you see a 64 that does have the rumble pack in there, it might not be a bad idea to pick it up, because oftentimes they discount those rumble packs since you're buying them as a package. They do have a complete in-box PS4 and a bunch of figures on this back wall, including some different games in the center aisle and a bunch of Pokemon plush here on the back wall as well. Definitely had a Kirby plush there too, and a bunch of other small collectibles, but primarily I still need that copy of Leaf Green. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm not seeing one here. So I think it's time to go ahead and head on to the next stop that I want to show you guys. Before I get out of there, man, I did want to stop by this showcase one last time because it did have some heat. And probably my favorite thing in the store has to be that copy of Pokemon Gale of Darkness XD. That's just my favorite game. Let's go on to the next one. Now this store is pretty much a night and day contrast of the other one. This one is the Mandarake Galaxy store. They also do buy, sell, and trade here, but as a full disclaimer, these prices are some of the highest I've ever seen. With that being said, you can still find some decent deals even at these stores. Let's go ahead and take a look at their showcase to see what kind of games they have to offer in here. Now they do have a pretty cool Galaxy banner at the top, and you notice they do have some mainline Pokemon games. In addition to that, they have some Street Fighter, Game & Watch stuff. They had some box consoles like a Nintendo DS, Ice Glacier Advance, and a special edition Mario Game Boy Micro. They did have a loose 64 cart in there, and every once in a while, if you pay attention to these showcases, you can find a couple different foreign language games like English or French or German. Since they are all technically made from Japan, every once in a while you can find the foreign language variants here as well. Unfortunately, I didn't see any of those in this cabinet, so I'm not willing to pay any of the prices listed there. Let's go ahead and see what else they have to offer. They do have that Splatoon Switch, and they have a ton of games on the walls in here. Now I know they have some pretty good prices on their Switch games, and back here they have a small junk section as well. One good indicator I like to do is check out the price of some of their Pokemon games. Like for example, I know the price of Pokemon Diamond goes for about 1500 yen, Heroes 3000 yen, so that's a good indicator of things are at least twice the price of what you would find them for elsewhere. Here in the junk section though, you do get an additional 30% off. Most of these games are loose, they don't have their cover art or original case, or if they do, they're often missing things like the manual, but it's cool to go ahead and flip through here to see what you can find. Every once in a while you'll find some pretty good deals, and sometimes you can find the oddly shaped Game Boy cartridges like the ones that have the built-in rumble effects, or the ones that have the external battery components that you need to use an external battery with to go ahead and power those. Here in the aisles, they actually did have some more CIB Game Boy Advance stuff, but as you can tell, this store was pretty packed with some serious collectors, so I don't want to get too much in their way. Let's go take a look at some of the prices on those Switch games that I was talking about, and you can see Arceus is actually a decent price. Diamond and Pearl here are actually a decent price as well, and they do have Scarlet and Violet. Now let's go ahead and try to take a look at some of the lower games here on this section to see if there's any standout titles to me. They do have a copy of Shield right here, and Sword as well. They also do have the Diamond and Pearl copies right there, and there's a representation on the prices of those for you. Like I said, they're actually not a bad price here compared to the rest of their games, but most of the games they are charging a premium for. Before we get out of the store, I want to go ahead and hit that center aisle to see if they have any good items in their CIB section that stand out to me. Anything GameCube related or anything Game Boy Advance. I did see this stuff here. They had a couple Final Fantasy games, and they did have a few Pokemon games as well. But none of the mainline games. All the mainline games were up in the front case. You know what? There is a book off out here, and even though it is late, the book off should still be open. So I think to wrap up today's little Nakano walkthrough, let's go ahead and leave the Mandarake Broadway area and head on off to the book off in Nakano. Let's go ahead and check it out. The book off here in Nakano is actually a little hidden gem. The first time I ever came to this book off, I actually found a Nintendo DS Lite complete in box in the silver colorway for just 3,600 yen. It was also on a 20% off promotion, so I did get it for under 3,000 yen for a complete in box Nintendo DS Lite. So naturally I went straight to the showcase to see if they had any outstanding deals today. Didn't have anything special, but they did have a Microsoft Xbox Series S. Here at the bottom of this aisle, they do have a Nintendo section here for Nintendo DS, Famicom, some complete in box 64 stuff, and a wide assortment of Game Boy Advance loose cartridges. This, guys, is where I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my video. I hope you enjoyed a walkthrough here of the Nakano Broadway, Nakano Sun Mall, and the Nakano Book Off store. If you like this video, chances are you'll like these videos too, and please subscribe for some more vlogs from Japan. Till next time, I'll be out this thing. Peace!